How do we learn to be more adventurous in the bedroom? All right, without having any other sort of reference or ability to ask you questions, the first thing I want to say is that you are under no obligation to be more adventurous in the bedroom. If you want to be more adventurous for you, I support that. If you want to be more adventurous because you are feeling pressured from your spouse, that's not okay. Your spouse should never be pressuring you. And it's kind of unclear from your message whether the pressure is actually coming from your own internalized issues or whether the pressure is actually coming from your spouse. And so I just really want to make it clear that you are allowed to have boundaries in bed, and your spouse should never, ever be pressuring you to do more than you are comfortable with. Now, I'm going to proceed in good faith as if you are the one who is genuinely wanting to expand your horizons. The first thing that I would do is I would choose one activity that makes you slightly uncomfortable, but it's not a, ooh, no, right, sort of activity. And really sit with the thought of that activity and spend some time journaling and reflecting on what is it exactly about that activity that makes you so uncomfortable. For instance, if it's oral, I would do a deep dive of Song of Solomon because oral sex is actually referenced in Song of Solomon. And so seeing that it's in the Bible may help you overcome the aversion to it. Now, if it's like oral because of sensory issues, like that's a whole other thing. But if it's literally just like the church shame, the purity culture connected to that example, deep diving Song of Solomon could potentially help. I also really think deep diving Song of Solomon would be a good idea no matter what, because that shows us a healthy romantic relationship with boundaries and things like that. Now, I know that somebody's going to pop in the comments, Solomon 500 wives. I know. Okay, I know. But that is the literal love poem, love story that God gave us in the Bible. So we should absolutely be studying it to see what we can learn from it. Okay? Okay. Now, this requester did say that they are already working with a therapist, and that would obviously be something else on the list, is to work with a therapist to start to untangle those shame and the roots of all of that. And something else that you can do is education. Sometimes we turn up our noses at certain activities because we don't understand like how to perform them safely or why someone might be interested in an activity. So spend some time researching the activities that you think you might be interested in, that your spouse has expressed interest in, to educate yourself on how to do them safely, how you can experience pleasure while doing them. If you need resources on where to learn about those sorts of things, my Patreon is $5 a month. I have a ton of videos on all kinds of educational topics in my Patreon. And you get access to 2 brand new videos every single week, access to the whole library of videos I've already posted. It's a wealth of information so you can start to educate yourself about different activities. And of course, I offer private coaching where we can sit down with you and your spouse and we can talk about activities that you guys might be willing to try together, how we can baby step you into experimenting with those activities and sort of create a script for your evening where you start to very carefully and slowly work those activities in and then really examine how you feel, why you feel that way, and what the truth of the situation is versus what the shame of purity culture is running that narrative in your mind. Because, my friend, you deserve to have good sex.